Jace Tunnel here. Look what we got today. The speckled swimming crab. This is something that looks very much like the blue crab that you would have like when you go out to eat at a restaurant or something like that. These things have the same type of attitude too. So like if you approach them, they get very mad and they put their claws up and they want to bite you. Now where are you going to find these things? Like big picture, I guess, along the Atlantic, all the way down to Venezuela. So, you know, Atlantic coast, Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, and you find them in high energy areas. They can also be found, I mean, they've been found up to 200 feet deep before. But where I find them today is all along the swash zone, and so that's where the waves are coming in, right at the water's edge. You know, where we like to play, you know, play in the water and build sandcastles and stuff. You know, right, kind of right in that area. And they use their claws and their legs flip up like this to be able to get down into the mud to where they can ambush their prey. And you know, they do eat detritus mainly, but they can eat mole crabs, coquina clams that we find right here, you know, in the swash zone. And just a real active animal. They can get up to 6 inches in size. One of the interesting things about the mating side of things is that the male will carry the female for 30 days until the molt is just right, and then they mate. And then the female can have over 600 eggs whenever she spawns. So that alone is pretty amazing. Now what I'm seeing today in an area, let's say 100 feet, there's probably 20 of these things, and they're just sitting there. The waves will go out and these things will be exposed from the sand moving, and then they try to cover up again. So okay, I've had this thing out of the water for about 3 minutes. I just caught them, and so I'm going to take them back into the water. One last thing. So they actually have 10 legs. They consider claws is 2 of them. 6 of them are for walking, and then the back ones are like paddles for swimming. So speckled swimming crab, they can swim really well, as you'd expect. So one thing is, people always want to know, can we eat these? And the answer is yes. They are smaller than blue crabs, but they are edible. There are countries, not in the US, but other countries that actually use these for like protein, for feeding their animals. And so yes, they are edible. Now these crabs are interesting in that how they communicate is a couple of different ways. One is through chemical cues. The other is by sound. And there's actually a third way, and that's visual. Their primary predator is things that you would think about. When they're in the water and they're swimming within the water column, definitely sea turtles are #1 for what eats them. Other things, like once they get up here, you know, in the water, in the shallow area, the waves go out, they're prone to be able to be eaten by birds. And then, you know, fish, of course, because they're out in the water, and fish are always looking for a meal to eat. Okay, so luckily I had brought a little canister thing here, and it really gives you an idea of what they look like and keeping the crab safe at the same time. So I put him in here so we could see how he swims, what his legs look like, all the beautiful colors and speckles on his body. And then we're going to be able to let him go safely. So I'll show you some images here so you get a better idea of what he looks like. Now, if you're a big beachcomber and you look in the high tide line lots of times you'll just find the carapace, which is the top part. So you'll find that it looks like a blue crab, but it's got speckles all over it. So it's nice to be able to see one that's alive. And so this will be a good close-up view for you. And so now I'm going to go put him back in the water so they can be with his buddies out there. Okay, let's go take him back to the water. Okay, so I guess that's it for the speckled swimming crab. We'll catch you on the next episode of Beachcombing. Success! He's already burying back down.